If there is one thing you've heard time and time again, it's that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, especially if you have diabetes. A diabetic diet requires a steady supply of energy to keep the body going throughout the day and control blood glucose levels. But finding the right food to eat can be tricky, and a lot of popular breakfast options are not good for diabetes. Plus, you also need to consider that when you wake, your glucose levels are unstable and sensitive thanks to a long night of fasting. So how can you control your glucose levels with breakfast? And what should you completely avoid? Keep watching this video to find out. Plus, find out about the 5 best breakfasts to adopt. But first, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you can get more diabetes-specific tips to live a healthy and full life. And watch until the end to get 2 free gifts from us. Now, let's get started with the 4 worst breakfast foods for diabetics. Number 4, processed breakfast cereals. Have you ever looked at the ingredients on your cereal? These have long been promoted as a healthy breakfast option, but a lot of it is just marketing. The fact is, many store-bought cereals are highly processed, containing alarming levels of refined carbohydrate, added sugar, and nasty artificial chemicals. And for diabetics, this is a big problem. Not all cereals are bad, more on that later. But for now, let's talk about what to avoid. When grains are refined, the outer layer or bran is removed. This bran contains fiber, which helps to slow down the digestion process, so you're less likely to experience glucose spikes. But when you eat a bowl of refined cereal, you're flooding your system with empty carbohydrate, which can quickly lead to blood glucose spikes, as well as missing out on many of the benefits of the whole grain. Furthermore, many ready-to-go cereals contain added sugar and unhealthy saturated fat, which can contribute to insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, and high cholesterol. So, should you avoid breakfast cereals altogether? Not necessarily. Whole grains do contain beneficial nutrients such as iron, calcium, magnesium, and phytochemicals. And their fiber content helps to slow digestion, reducing the impact on blood sugar levels. In fact, whole grains as part of a balanced diet may be beneficial in preventing diabetes. One study looked at the dietary habits of over 75,000 people during a 10-year period. Those who ate whole grains showed a 27% reduction in the risk of diabetes compared to those who ate refined grains. Another study found that moderate consumption of whole grain cereal correlates with lower risk of type 2 diabetes, hypertension, and heart disease. So if you do eat cereal in the morning, either make your own or check the label. Go for a whole grain option without added sugar. The American Diabetes Association recommends under 5 grams of sugar per serving and at least 3 grams of fiber. And here's a pro tip. Add a dollop of yogurt and sprinkle of nuts to boost protein and avoid blood glucose spikes. Quiz time. Do you know which grain is king when it comes to controlling diabetes? That's coming up shortly, but first, it's time to reveal the number 3 worst breakfast choice. Number 3, protein bars. Protein bars may win for convenience when you're running late, but caution is advised. Now, many contain a good amount of nuts, so you might believe that they're great for fiber, good fat, and protein. But when you dive into the manufacturing process of store-bought protein bars, in most cases, the nuts and grains are processed, the fruits are only extracts, and most contain added sweetener, making a recipe for blood glucose disaster. In a similar way to refined breakfast cereals, most protein bars can be categorized as processed food, not the sort of stuff that leads to health and vitality. However, you may have come across products labeled diabetic snack bars. So wouldn't it mean that those are actually good for people with diabetes? In some cases, they can be, but again, caution is advised. For people who struggle with hypoglycemia and hyperglycemia, diabetic snack bars can play a role. But we're not talking about the standard off-the-shelf protein bar. The American Diabetes Association states that resistant starch snack bars can be useful for preventing hyperglycemia. Resistant starches help to slow the absorption of glucose into the blood, preventing spikes. But these snack bars are generally given as a meal supplement rather than a replacement. On the other hand, for diabetics who suffer from hypoglycemia or low blood sugar, a different type of snack bar is used. UCS snack bars are eaten at night and provide a slow-release carbohydrate paired with protein and fat, specifically aimed at reducing the risk of hypoglycemia while sleeping. Hypoglycemia is particularly serious as it can impact the brain and is something that more commonly infects type 1 diabetics. So as you can see, diabetes snack bars have specific purposes, but unless they're recommended by your doctor, it's far better to get your sustenance from real food. Not to mention the fact that real food tastes so much better. Number 2, sausage, bacon, and other meat. Sausage, bacon, or ham are popular breakfast options, and you may think that the protein you get from this meal is beneficial, but it also comes with a lot of fat. So while meat doesn't add extra carbohydrate to your breakfast, it's not the healthiest option for diabetics. Sausage and bacon in particular are considered high in saturated fat, which are known to raise cholesterol levels and aggravate diabetes. Now, diabetes goes hand in hand with another major problem: heart disease. Over the years, there's been a lot of conflicting information about meat. But in 2020, the American Heart Association published a mega-analysis of the existing research, compiling data from 6 major studies spanning 30,000 people over multiple decades. The data showed that people who ate 2 or more servings of red meat per week had 4 to 7% greater risk of cardiovascular disease and stroke. For those who ate more than 2 servings per week, the risk increased accordingly. Interestingly, the trend did not apply to fish. So should you limit your red meat consumption? Yes, especially for breakfast. Remember that your body and blood glucose levels are particularly sensitive in the morning, and nourishing yourself with saturated fat is not the best idea. If you do choose to indulge in the occasional red meat meal, consider the following. Go for lean cuts to reduce saturated fat, reduce portion sizes, and pair it with salad greens, tomatoes, or your favorite diabetes-friendly foods. Number 1. Fruit juices. Fruit juice may seem like a delicious and healthy option with your breakfast. After all, fruits are naturally rich in nutrients, vitamins, and fiber, so it's easy to assume that fruits are beneficial in any form they come in. Well, think again. When you consume fruits in their whole form, your body breaks it down slowly due to the fiber content. However, when fruits are juiced, the fiber is removed, leaving a fast-absorbing sugar hit. And when that extra glucose enters the bloodstream, it can lead to hyperglycemia. In fact, a 2013 study found that drinking just 3 juices per week was associated with an 8% higher risk of diabetes. So if you want to keep your blood glucose under control, skip on the fresh juices for breakfast. So now that we've seen the breakfasts to avoid, what are the best options? In just a second, we'll discuss 5 of the best breakfasts for diabetics. But first, it's time to reveal your 2 free gifts. Get an in-depth look at the foods which help you fight diabetes. Grab our free book, The 10 Incredible Foods That Reduce Blood Sugar, and learn what's really happening inside your body. And watch our free 1-hour documentary, The Scary Truth About Sugar. Simply click the link in the description below to gain full access to both gifts. Alright, let's jump into 5 fantastic breakfast options for diabetics. Number 5. Smoothies. If you tend to skip breakfast, a low-carb smoothie can be a good option. Unlike fresh juices, which only include fruits, a low-carb smoothie can be made of protein through yogurt or added plant powder, healthy fat with nuts, seeds, or avocado, and fiber with berries and leafy greens. Whatever ingredients you choose, avoid smoothies made entirely from fruit and try to use foods with a low glycemic index, as these slow down the conversion of carbs into glucose. Research published by the Nutrition Journal in 2013 trialed 75 women on a low glycemic diet. After 6 months, they noted that overall morning blood glucose levels were more stable. So while blood glucose levels are particularly sensitive after a night of fasting, this suggests that a low glycemic breakfast can balance glucose levels more easily. So embrace your smoothie. But remember, all smoothies are not created equal, and it's up to you to monitor what goes into your morning drink. Number 4, eggs. Whether you like them scrambled, boiled, or poached, eggs are a delicious and healthy breakfast choice for people with diabetes. Eggs are a rich source of protein, nutrients such as choline and biotin, and omega-3s. These components support long-term blood glucose control, and after observing 65 people with type 2 diabetes, a Cambridge University study confirmed that eating 2 eggs daily could significantly reduce fasting blood sugar. But eggs also have been controversial. The type of eggs you buy, the way you cook them, and what you eat them with can all have a negative impact on your insulin resistance and cholesterol. So be mindful about the way you consume eggs. By choosing the most organic option or enjoying a boiled egg with a side of avocado, you can have a highly beneficial and blood glucose friendly breakfast. And while we're talking about avocados, another breakfast option is number 3. Avocado toast. If you love a salty and filling breakfast, then you'll be happy to know that avocado on toast is a great option for diabetics. That is, if you eat your avocado with multigrain style toast. While multigrain breads are filled with fiber, avocados offer a healthy dose of good fat. Pairing both together creates a nourishing and blood-balancing breakfast option. The fat found in avocados is mainly monosaturated fatty acids, which are known to lower bad LDL cholesterol, triglycerides, and overall blood pressure. A study published by the Journal of the American College of Nutrition found that replacing carbohydrates with monosaturated fatty acid foods in the morning, like avocados, can help to control blood sugar and insulin in the long term. Additionally, multigrain toast offers a wide variety of nutrients and fiber, resulting in a slower absorption of glucose into the bloodstream and better digestion. So don't shy away from a good old avocado toast, because it's a fantastic way to stay nourished and satiated for hours. Number 2, oatmeal. Okay, if you're imagining a bowl of instant oats with milk and added sugar, sorry, that's not what we're talking about here. But there is a diabetic-friendly way to enjoy this beloved breakfast. In fact, oatmeal can be extremely beneficial to control fasting blood glucose, as long as you eat it in a certain way. Oats are a gluten-free whole grain that contains a large amount of vitamins, fiber, and antioxidants. So when you eat rolled or steel-cut oats, you can get the full nourishment of these important nutrients. A 2008 study assessed the blood glucose response before and after breakfast. Some subjects were given a high carbohydrate breakfast, while others had oats. The results showed that the blood glucose response was significantly more balanced for those who consumed oats. But oats are never consumed alone, so how can you ensure to keep your blood glucose in check? Experts recommend pairing your oatmeal with nuts or seeds for protein and healthy fat, spices like cinnamon to support digestion, and berries for a boost of flavor and antioxidants. Now for our number one breakfast for diabetics. It's another fantastic food you can add to your oatmeal or eat on its own. Number one, chia seeds. We've seen that a diabetic-friendly breakfast should contain a good dose of fiber, healthy fat, and protein. So we couldn't finish this list without chia seeds, as this little grain contains all three. Chia seeds are a blood glucose-friendly breakfast option, and they are often enjoyed in the form of chia puddings. You can make a chia pudding with a few tablespoons of chia seeds, a cup of unsweetened plant milk or water, and any natural flavoring of your choice, whether that's berries, spices, cocoa powder, coconut, or fruit. When soaked, the chia seeds expand into a gooey matter that delivers a high amount of soluble fibers and omega-3 fatty acid. Various animal studies have shown that these components significantly reduce insulin resistance and improve blood sugar control. Further clinical trials conducted on adults confirmed the same results, while also finding that chia seeds help prevent hyperglycemia after a meal. So it's fair to say that chia seeds for breakfast is a fantastic way to nourish your body and control blood glucose, especially after a restful night of fasting and sleep. So remember, choose breakfasts that are rich in fiber, healthy fat, and protein, and avoid foods that are high in sugar and saturated fats. And there you have it, the worst and best breakfast foods for diabetics. Perhaps there's another option that you enjoy that we haven't talked about? Share your favorite foolproof breakfast with the Diabetics Talk community in the comments below. And before you leave, make sure to claim your free gift by clicking the link in the description below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that bell button for more diabetes talk. Thanks for watching. We hope you're having a diabetes fighting day.